Hey guys, so it's Movie Monday and I am actually working from my house today, which is pretty crazy because I'm either usually at school or I am on the road. But today though, I had a request to tell my 3 things about students and technology, and it was really hard to pick just 3 things because, well, it's just hard to only pick 3 things when you have a list like that. But I think the number 1 thing is that students are always changing. And you're going to hear that in every class, you're going to hear that on the street, you're going to hear that in a classroom, you're going to hear that everywhere. But really though, students are changing. Society's changing, and the options and abilities that students have are changing. Not saying that we need to change our expectations, but we just need to remember the background and where the students are coming from, because it is completely different than when you went to school or when your parents went to school or when I went to school. Just everything is just so different with what students have to do and their background knowledge and their upbringing in general. I said, not that that's a bad thing, but it is very much that we need to remember that these students and all students need to have the same compassion and patience as you would with anybody else, but that students are always changing. Number 2 is that students are always connected. They're connected through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram, through so many other social media sites. And I think it's important for us to remember that, but it's also important for us to begin to become more connected. You don't have to use it all the time, but to realize, though, that this is a great opportunity for us to talk to our students about that. That is awesome that you're so connected online, but to remember that nothing is ever private. So think before you put things online. Think how it might look in 20 years, which sometimes that's really hard because that's a really big picture. But that to remember that employers are going to go back and do Google searches for you, are going to check out that digital footprint of yours. So students are really, really connected. But I said this is a great time for us to be connected too. You don't have to be on Facebook all the time. I said, I know I'm one of those people. You don't have to be on Twitter all the time. But just to kind of have an understanding of where students are connected at, so you can have those discussions of how to be connected correctly and how to really portray yourself online and give yourself a good digital footprint. But students are really connected. This is a great time for teachers to be really, really connected, to be able to use those social media aspects to increase our own learning and our own professional development, because you can learn a ton in the classroom, but you want to be connected just like students can. And I think number 3, excuse the play in the background, you gotta love living in the city, but I think number 3 is the one that's the most near and dear to my heart, in that given technology, all students have a voice. And I teach as a self-contained special education life kindergarten through 5th grade classroom, and many of my students are low verbal or nonverbal. So it's technology has offered us that ability to level the playing field in some areas that they might not have those opportunities. My students, we go on tons of virtual tours because, like I said before, students are changing. Not all students have those opportunities to leave the city, to leave their homes. So why not give those opportunities to students in the classroom, to give them those virtual tours, to help them be connected with others that they can learn from. Like I said, in my classroom we have a blog where we post our videos and we post our photos of things that we're doing in our classroom. So not only are my students able to go back and watch what they've done, but then people from all over the world are able to see, wow, check out what these kids are doing. So technology definitely levels the playing field for students too, because you can modify and adapt, and that way every student can participate in their own way. Because like I said too, number 1, students are changing. So you want to give them all those opportunities to participate however they might feel comfortable. And you never know what putting some technology in a student's hand can do for them in the long run. Since we started using a lot of our technology and blogging, I've seen a huge increase in social skills, but also a huge increase in vocabulary for my students. I said, my kids, we love to Skype call, so that's a great way to work on attention, to work on proper manners. So offering those options to students is a fantastic way to just open your own toolbox for teaching and for learning. So those are my 3 things. Like I said, it was pretty hard to come up with just 3 things, but definitely, number 1, students are always changing. 2, students are connected. You need to be connected too. And number 3, remember that given technology, it levels the playing field for all students and all learners of all abilities. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later.